Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Sunday night webinar for the eEstate platform. This is called the eEstate Revolution, and my team is called the eEstate Revolution as well. My name is Vaughn Morrill. I'm your host. Really excited to have you here. Really excited to be talking about eEstate tonight. We got a lot of great things to cover. And what I want to do first is I want to go ahead and post in the description here a link in the chat for anybody who would like to join eEstate. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste this into the chat. So if you have not joined eEstate and you would like to join, you can go ahead and use my link. So there's one link that'll take you over to the eEstate site, which will allow you to, peruse the website. It'll allow you to join. And then the second link is going to actually take you over to my YouTube channel, which is the eEstate Revolution YouTube channel. Where I will post this video. I post a bunch of other videos, and it's about all things eEstate over at the YouTube channel. So both of those links are there in the chat. Also, with regards to the chat, if you guys have any questions or if you want to drop me a comment, feel free to do so right as we go throughout the webinar. We're going to be covering a lot of great stuff tonight. Okay, I'm going to be talking a little bit about who I am, my online and offline businesses that I have presence in, I have receipts for, overview of the investment opportunity. We're going to do an overview of the agent broker opportunity, and we're going to look at the website, right? We'll do some spins on that wheel. I like to do that every single week. Then we're going to talk about the buyer opportunities with eEstate and the agent broker opportunities. And I also, tonight I want to share with you just kind of a big picture overview idea of what eEstate is. So the idea behind this business, I think, is a really cool idea, right? And I think it's an idea whose time has come. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and be talking about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And let's see here. Yep, we're going to do the desktop screen and do it just like this and share. Okay, perfect. So everything is fired up here and ready to go. So let's talk, guys. Let's talk. So first and foremost, this is a quote by Warren Buffett, right? One of the wealthiest men on the planet, right? And this is a quote that I'm sure you might have heard before. A lot of people have heard this quote, but it's really something that makes a lot of sense, and it's really something that holds true, right? If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die, right? And that's a quote by Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Okay, and that's it's true, right? It's true. And business is all about making, investing a little bit of money and then making a little bit more, right? And if you're able to do that over and over again, right, you're able to create for yourself something called streams of income, right? And you can have one stream of income, two, three, four, five, six, seven. The more streams of income that you have, right, the more security, right, that you have, the more safety that you have in terms of financially. Because guys, look, the days of, being able to work one job, support a family, have a pension, retire with dignity, all that stuff, right? Those days are unfortunately gone. Right? You've got to be able to be creative. The way that the world is now, you've got to be able to be creative. You've got to be able to, dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure that you have a lot of different things going on, a lot of different businesses going on, and a lot of different ways to make money, right? So if one income stream does dry up, well, hey, you have other income streams to fall back on. This is me, I'm Vaughn Morrill. My book, The Power of Leadership, came out a few years ago. I did this book with Matt Morris. Whoop, 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 whoop. There it is. Yeah, and the book was shown on Fox News, NBC, CBS News. That was before the internet podcast became the main place where people give and get news. And yeah, it talks about my story, right? A little bit of my come up story, and it's got a lot of great nuggets in there, right? If you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur, if you're interested in becoming a leader, man, it is just I really recommend it, right? And Matt Morris also was great, right? But he writes a chapter in the book as well. Okay, now I'm the owner of multiple businesses online and offline. Okay, I've been in business for the majority of my adult life. Okay, and I have seen a lot, right? I've seen a lot, right? I've been in the whole crypto revolution. I was right on the cusp of it. I did investing before crypto was a thing. Invested in the stock market, real estate, different things of that nature, and also have been in multiple sales businesses, right? And marketing and network marketing, right? So in terms of business and network marketing, I would say that I am a pretty seasoned individual. Okay, and so that's my background. That's where I'm coming from. Okay, and that allowed me to do these things, right? And the first is on the left-hand side. That's a picture of me and my mom when I was able to buy her her. It was a 2002 50-year anniversary Ford Thunderbird, right? It's kind of a car that she loves. That's been her dream car her whole life. And I got it for her in the T-Bird blue color, and I was able to have it, shipped down here and dropped off to her, right? And that was a just a great moment in my life because I had always said, growing up, I remember that she loved the Thunderbird, right? She even the first one that ever came out, right, in the 50s, she loved it. And then when the 50-year anniversary, the Thunderbird came out, I just remember her lighting up when she first saw it, and I said to myself, and no, I never shared this with anybody. I just said it to myself in my own heart. I said, look, if I ever make it in this world, right? If I ever become a quote unquote success, right? I'm going to buy my mom that 2002 50-year anniversary Ford Thunderbird. And this was a few years ago. I surprised her with it on her birthday, right? And I was able to do that. And I'm just so happy, grateful, and thankful for that because it's a huge blessing to be able to do that, right? Now, that is something that money can't buy, right? That's something so this isn't all about business, marketing, sales, investing. It's not all about just getting rich for rich sake, right? It's about utilizing money and using it to bring about your dreams, right? And hopefully to bless other people, right? That's the whole idea behind it, right? And that's part of, long-term wealth is having a giving spirit, right? So you can't outgive God is something that I always like to say. And it's really true. It's really true, guys. I mean, if you have a giving spirit, that just it increases, right? Your ability to make money because money likes people who give it away. All right. Now this other one, this is a picture of me at my beach house. Right. This is my beach house. You can see it over there. This is me on my kayak, and this was something that I did for me and my family. Guys, I always wanted a beach house. Right. Remember for years I still got it around here somewhere, but I had a picture of a beach house that looked almost identical to this one before I ever had one. And I sit that picture in my office and I would look at it every day, right? Because I was like, okay, this is like something that I want to bring into my life. And I was able to do that, right? So those are just a couple of things that make network marketing with all the ups and downs that come in that are in it, it makes it worthwhile, right? It's never easy at first. There's a large learning curve for everybody. Network marketing it can make it so that money is never ever ever an issue again, but it takes time, it takes patience, and you got to be willing to put in the work. Okay, you got to be willing to put in the work. All right. So yeah. All right. So now that we got that, I'm going to go over to my dashboard. Here's the e-estate dashboard. And I will go over to the actual e-estate page. And you can see if you scroll down here, you've got the Brandon, Mike, Monica are there, right? And then here's me. I'm the ARDR coach, right? ARDR is basically digital real estate, right? So it's helping other leaders in the digital real estate game. Okay, look at this guy. He's in my face. He's in my face. Get out my face, man. Get out my face. All right. So okay, so we got the e-estate homepage. Okay, and what I want to do is at first I want to go over the investor opportunity, then I want to go over the agent broker opportunity, right? Then I'm going to show you some stuff in my back office in my e-wallet. All right, but here's what I want to talk about first. I want to give you just a little bit of an overview of the whole idea behind e-estate and what this is all about. So this is a crypto platform, okay? A crypto platform. Now, with any crypto platform, there are not any stringent laws and regulations. So what that means is you could lose all of your investment, and there's nothing that you could do about it. There's nothing that I could do about it. There's nothing that anybody could do about it. And you have to understand that where you're getting into a crypto opportunity. Never, ever, ever invest into any opportunity. I don't care how good it is. Never invest anything you cannot afford to lose. Make sure you're withdrawing. Withdraw early, withdraw often. Practice mental toughness, right? Make sure that you're diversified, right? These are all rules to live by in the world of investing, and especially in crypto investing, guys, right? So we don't want it to be something where you lose. I don't want you to lose. I don't want to lose, right? But at the same time, you have to understand, right? You have to understand that there's a risk to this. There's a risk with any type of investing, but especially in crypto. So please, please, please understand that. Be responsible. Don't invest anything that you cannot afford to lose into this or any opportunity. Okay. And that's just good words to live by. I have wanted to see something like this for so long. Okay. Seriously. What this is it's the ability for the average person to purchase a small stake in beautiful real estate worldwide. And you don't have to be a millionaire to do it. You don't have to go to the bank and get a loan for $750,000. You don't have to get an investment loan. You don't have to get a bunch of investors to help you buy your first property. It's a thing where the property itself is broken up into all kinds of mini portions, and each person, depending on our ability, can invest in a portion of a property, therefore, be a real estate owner and make money off of real estate without having to leverage a whole lot of your own money without having to borrow, right? But being able to do something that you can afford, that I can afford, to be part of a house or a condo, right? Or a hotel, right? Or a new business, right? A new strip mall, something like that. And if I can do that for a couple of $1,000s, right? Rather than millions, that's a great thing, right? And also make a return on my investment. So I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. This is what e-estate is all about. This is the whole idea behind e-estate, right? It's leveraging each other's money to create a pool, right? To buy properties which increase in value and also bring in rent money and different lines of income and that nature, and are able to give us a return on our investment. Whether we invest $100, 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000, we can make a return on investment. That's the beauty of this, right? That's really the beauty of this, guys. Let's look at the investor opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my dashboard. And this is what your dashboard will look like when you sign up. Okay, links are all in the chat. Oh, also, guys, if somebody else invited you to this webinar, you don't need to click my link, right? Just click the link of the person who invited you, right? I'm fine. I appreciate you, but if somebody did put in the work to invite you to come here, go ahead and use their link because they deserve your business. All right. So we click on buyer and we click on real estate. And this is going to show you the different tokenized properties that we can be a part of here. Now, this starts at $117. These are the apartments, right? Profit per day, 0.41% through 0.61%. You get a payback period of 8 months. So that means that every day for 8 months, you're going to be getting back 0.41% to 0.61% of that investment, whether it's $117 or more, right? And then after the 8 months, it converts over to 10% yearly for the rest of your life, okay, for the rest of the life of the platform and the program. And that's how all of these work, right? So every single tokenized property, guess what? It's the same way. It gives you a passive income daily, which is a nice chunk of change for a few months, and then it converts over to 10% a year for life. Okay? That's how it works. It's a great model because guess what? It's sustainable, right? It's sustainable. If you get into the houses, right? I've got a stake in the houses. You can get in for $480 or more, right? I believe I've got 1,000 total invested in houses. Okay, this is their Arch Cape, Oregon location. You get 0.46% through 0.66% daily for a period of 8 months. And then after that, guess what? Converts over to 10% a year. for life. Villas. I also have a stake in villas, guys. I got some villas. This is one that's located in Los Angeles, California. $3,120 minimum. Of course, you can get in for more. Profit per day, 0.51% through 0.71%. Payback period, 7 months. After that, it converts over to 10% per year for life. Tourism, 0.56% through 0.76% per day, right? 6 month payback period, at which point it converts over to 10% per year per life. Per life, for life. For life and per life. Commerce. This is cool because it's getting into some business opportunities. This one's in Phoenix, Arizona, 0.61% through 0.81% a day. You have to get in for at least $10,270. The payback period is 6 months. Okay, and then it converts over to 10% per year for life. Businesses, you got to unlock level 2 or higher. You get 0.66% through 0.86% daily, right? You get a payback period of 6 months, at which point it converts over to 10% per year for life. You got to come in with $24,590. Land plots, you got to access level 3. Once you do, you get 0.71% through 0.91% a day. You got to come in for $51,310. The payback period is 5 months, after which it converts over to 10% per year for life. Can really build up some passive income here, guys. And the more you put in, the more properties that you acquire with this. Well, then you think about your yearly 10%. It's 10% of 50,000. You're talking about $5,000. Do that a couple of times, and you've got like $20,000 a year coming in passively for the rest of your life, right? That's where you start getting your mind blown about this, right? It's like that's something people live off of. I mean, Social Security. Sometimes Social Security doesn't even pay that. A lot of times it doesn't. Development, 0.75% through 0.95% daily, $99,250 to get in, 5 month payback period, okay? And then it converts over to 10% per year for life. All right. Now you get into the business development, 0.8% through 1% daily. This is also in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. 5 month payback period, you got to get in for $255,700. And then, of course, after the 5 month period, it converts over to 10% a year, right? What's 10% of $255,000? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's a lifetime. That's a lifetime benefit. Okay. So that's what's up when it comes to the actual investor opportunities. Okay. We want to also look at the agent broker opportunities. Become an agent, right? Become an agent. Why not? If you're going to be part of the platform, you may as well become an agent because it's only $9 a month, and it unlocks the ability for you to make a whole lot of new streams of income. Right? So just with this alone, there's a lot of different streams of income you can have. Okay. Let me move this to here. Agent commission details and commission structure. So your deal commissions on the first level. So if somebody uses your link and purchases apartments, or they purchase houses, or they purchase a stake in the villas, whatever they do, right? You get 6% of whatever they put in on the first level, right? That means you directly brought this person in, you get 6%. Okay. Now let's say that person that you already brought in brings somebody in. You still get 2%, even though you didn't do any work at that point. It was that person who brought that other person in. But since they're on your team, you still get a benefit. And that goes down to the 3rd level, 4th level, 5th level, 6th level, 7th level, 8th level, right? 2% on 2 through 5, 6 through 8, 1%. That means a lot of opportunity, guys, to make money. That is, 8 levels deep in any network marketing business is phenomenal, right? If you get a few leaders up under you, hey, you're going to be taking off, and all of a sudden you're not going to be knowing like where'd all this money come from that you're making, right? It really is like that, guys. Profit commission. This is a beautiful innovation that eEstate did. So not only do you get commissions on the deals, you get commissions on their profits. So not only are you getting a commission when they come in, you're also, every time they make a profit, you get a commission of that profit. Right? That's mind-blowing. That's mind-boggling to me. And it's a huge opportunity, right? 5% on the first level, 2% on the second, 2% on the third, 1% on the fourth, 1% on the fifth. Okay? Simple as that, guys. Simple as that. All right, let me go ahead and go back to the site because I want to do a couple things. So if you look at my assets here, I've got $134.67. And if you look at the last 20 days, I'm up 12.3%, right? How about being up 12.3% with no downs, right? That is the beauty of passive income. That's the beauty of an opportunity like this because you're not incurring losses along with your gains, right? You're just gaining. So 12.3% in 20 days is wonderful, right? I'm all about that. And if you follow my channel, the Unlimited Freedom Network, then you know me and you know that I get into a lot of passive income opportunities and I'm all about making that gain. Okay, making those percentage gains is ultimately what when you stop thinking in dollars and you start thinking in percentages, you're going to see your dollars compound and increase. So if I go to view assets, I click on that. I see my balances here, and if I want to get that balance out, I hit transfer. Now what I'll do there is I transfer it into my e-wallet. So I put in the amount that I want to transfer, right? I put in my PIN code and I go withdraw to e-wallet. Once I do that, I go back to the dashboard, and if you look at my e-wallet, all of a sudden it'll have that money in the e-wallet. Then what do? You open up the e-wallet, right? And you go ahead and transfer it out, right? Transfer it out to your crypto wallet. That's how you do that. Okay, that's how you do that. By the way, let me show you my assets I'm in. You can see I've got a total of $4,120 invested. I've got investments in houses and investments in villas. Okay. I've got 3,120 invested into the villas. I've got 1,000 invested into the houses. Okay. Okay. So you're going to have a contract when you get into investment. You're also going to have a contract when you sign up as an agent. You will have to KYC for this platform. And they're trying to do everything by the book. And I will say this about eEstate: they really are working hard to, uh, to try build a business that's going to have the potential to last and to be successful over time, right? And that's very important. This is probably my favorite part, right? Well, I mean, it's fun. It's not my favorite part, but it's a fun part, and that's the ETK balance and the wheel spin. You can win money here. So I've got 513 right now from the work that I did last week. And if you spin now, each spin costs 100 ETK, and you can win money. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a spin, right? And there you go, $1.50. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my e-wallet. Spin again. All right, let's see. Another $1.50. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to get a zero. Spin again. $2, right? $2. Spin again. Hey, hey, and last but not least, last spin. Come on, baby. Come on, let's see what we get on this last one. $1. Okay, so I add that to my e-wallet, and then we can go over back and see that there's a couple of dollars. I don't think it's going to turn out to be actually 9, but it's going to be close, right? It's going to be close. Maybe it is 9. But that's 9 extra dollars that I didn't have before, right? Which takes me over 140 once I transfer that over and then withdraw it. Let me check the chat, see if we got any questions coming in. All right, so on the chat, you can see that I have my links there. You can get the link to the eEstate platform. It's there in the chat. You can also get a link to my YouTube channel, The eEstate Revolution, and be on my team, Team Revolution with eEstate. As always, guys, this is how we break it down for you. We make it simple, right? And that's how I like it, right? I love to keep things simple, right? Life is too complicated as it is, so I break it down for you. I keep it simple every single Sunday night. I let you know what the deal is all about here at the eEstate Revolution webinar every single Sunday night. I want to thank you guys for coming through, and we will see you on the next meeting. Take care.